we are going to start with our pot of water that we need to start off by boiling it. And that way, when we're into it, it just is ready for us. So everyone, please have your stock pot ready with some water and turn it on.
All right, so while you guys are turning on your water, welcome, Lynn friends. We're so excited you are here with us tonight. We are coming to you live from my house, my kitchen. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Christina. I am the marketing director here at Lynfred Winery. And we are here in Bloomingdale, and I am more than ecstatic about this evening because I have my favorite chef Celeste here with us. And what's more exciting than anything, we're cooking barefoot with wine. With wine.
Safety first.
Safety first. So we have done so many cooking classes in the past, but this is the first time we're doing a virtual cooking class. We have done virtual educations, like wine education, virtual potato chip pairings, and a little bit everything. But we finally decided to bring this to you virtually. And so many of you have been doing so many fun virtual classes. And we thought, well, let's just bring this to you. So I want to introduce, if you have never met Chef Celeste, if you don't know her background, Celeste Pasag is her last name. Celeste was actually born in the Philippines, and she came here when she was 8 years old to California.
That was only 20 years ago.
Only 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And like I am 21. And Chef Celeste grew up in San Francisco area, in San Francisco, right? In San Francisco. And she ended up going to the graduated from California Culinary Academy. Is that how I say that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And she worked in San Francisco at what was the restaurant or the hotel you worked at there? What was the place you worked?
So I had a few. I started out with the W.
Yes, at the W.
Yeah, and then I moved on to the Westin St. Francis, Marriott Marquis, Stanford Courts. I mean, within that 20 years,
Yeah.
I had some experience.
You had some experience there. So then, this is the craziest thing of all. She ended up going to the Westin Moana Surf Rider in Honolulu, Hawaii. And she was there for a few years and cooked. I mean, this place is beautiful. The hotel actually looks like a wedding cake or like a birthday cake. It's pretty amazing. And then her husband, who's in the airline industry, got transferred to Chicago, from Honolulu to Chicago. Bless her heart.
In the dead of winter. 2013.
Yeah, in 2013.
Oh,
so she's been with us now 7 years. And I loved when she did our very first, her interview was not really an interview. She cooked for us. She cooked for Rodrigo, our head winemaker, for Andreas, our GM and director of winemaking, and for myself. And Diane and Chef Chris. And it was, when she cooked for us, I was like, well, there we go. We're set. So we are so excited to have her here with us tonight. And the way we're going to do this, and we'll talk about it here in a minute, I'm going to let her tell you what we're cooking. When you see me off camera, I will actually be checking the chat. You guys see the chat thing in there? You can go in there and ask questions. I'm going to ask you questions. You can go in there. It's kind of a whole other experience. And if you see me off camera, I'll be looking at that. And so feel free to raise your hand, anything like that. We're going to keep you on mute for now, just because it keeps background noise down and allows you to hear Chef Celeste. And if we freeze up, don't worry. We'll come back. Sometimes the internet's unstable, but I'm going to toss this over now to Chef Celeste and let her tell you about what we're cooking. Have fun.
Thank you so much. And thank you for allowing me into your kitchen and everybody to celebrate this evening with you. So what we're making for this evening is Kale Malfatti. And what Malfatti is an Italian dumpling. And it translates to oddly shaped or misshaped, or what my husband would like to say, less than perfect. So keep that in mind when we're rolling out our dumpling, that all of our Malfattis won't look the same. It won't be uniform, but that's what Malfatti is, misformed or less than perfect. The reason why I brought this recipe to you is I had an opportunity to take a beautiful trip to Italy with my best friend Lyra and her husband Adrian back in 2018, and I saw this recipe, or excuse me, I saw this on the menu and I ordered it. And I can tell you that it was one of the most memorable dishes that I had from that trip. And I was determined to bring the recipe home or find a recipe that I can make my own. So, and that's how Kale Malfatti forms. It comes from the Lombardy region of Italy, northern part of Italy, which the major city is Milan, as everybody knows, the fashion capital of Europe. Yes?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
We have a quick question.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
some people here are doing their measuring right now.
Of course.
So Larry Sawyer wants to know, should we measure the ricotta cheese in a cup or by weighing it?
Thank you for that. Actually, a cup, we should just measure by cups and not by weights. Is there any other questions that we have?
Nope, that's good so
All
far.
right. So I'm going to go through the ingredients with you as well as the equipment. But what I wanted to say also, with any recipes that I do, I try to look through the steps and make myself familiarized with it, because as you're doing it along the way, everything will just make sense. And we want to set ourselves up for success, right? So get all of our mise en place together, and down to the equipment, to the, our knives, our serving dishes for later. So first and foremost, our equipment that we're going to need, of course, we're going to need a food processor, but I can show you, for those who doesn't have any food processor available to them, we could actually cut this and chop it by hand. We're going to need sheet pans, a mixing bowl. I have slotted spoon. I actually didn't include on your equipment list, but we do need a small saucepan. So that's one extra thing that I have to ask, is one saucepan for the San Marzazo for later, and then also our Sautee Pan. Everybody good to go? I'm super excited, really. If you can't see it in my face, I am.
We just had a few more people that got kicked out or were coming in a little late. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just getting started. If you haven't yet, make sure, oh, she rang the bell. That means your wine. So if you haven't started boiling your water, definitely start boiling your water now, for those of you who haven't done that yet, that just came in. All right, back to you, Celeste.
Thank you so much. And then I'm going to go ahead and introduce our ingredients. So Lynfred, here are your ingredients. Here are Lynfred.
Kale. Kale me not.
Kale me now. So we have 2 bunches of kale, destemmed and washed. And you may think that 2 bunches is a lot. Actually, after we blanch this, it's just going to yield to 1.5 cups, which what we need for our recipe. And I'll show you how to destem that later. We're going to need a cup of ricotta cheese. We have 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour plus extra. We have 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 egg that's whipped. I have fresh nutmeg, but we do need 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, a cup of Parmesan Reggiano, 1/2 cup for our mixture, and then the other half for garnish. And then salt and pepper, of course, our San Marzazo tomatoes that are diced, 2 cloves of garlic, and then, of course, our olive oil right there. So, good to go, everyone? Thank you so much. So, let's go ahead and start by destemming our kale, if you haven't already started. So what you do is you want to take your knife and run it along the stem and kind of shave it off. And one key note is you want to move the knife away from you and not towards you, because after a couple of glasses of wine, we don't want any mishaps in the kitchen, right? So go ahead and shave that off. And then another one, just so everyone can see, just run it through the back of the stove. And here you go. That was easy. That was easy. And you just want to tear it up just so we can help it cook later. Smash it. Hi, Kale.
Hi, Kale.
So what I also like to do is clean as I go. And that being said, I always have a bowl where I need to put my trash or, you know, just crumbs and everything like that, because you just want to keep everything organized, and it's cleaner for us. So as our water is ready, what you want to do is, this is the stage where we do the blanching. And what blanching means is that we cook it quickly and we just want to tenderize our vegetables. And when we do run it through cold water, it stops the cooking process and retains that vibrant green color. So when your water is ready, go ahead and place it in our pot. What I would like to say is everybody in the pool. So, and this will take about 3 to 4 minutes to cook. And by the way, I do apologize. It is salted boiling water. That's going to go in, and you just want to go ahead and move it along and make sure that it's submerged in the pot. And you know when it's done, so just lift one up and then just make sure that it's cooked all the way through and tenderized.
Larry just asked if the water is salted, which yes, we did throw some in just a minute ago. Just throw some in. We've got our little salt box over here. Here we go. Yeah, see our cute little salt box. We've just got some kosher salt in there.
Yeah.
Just toss it right in there.
Thank you. Yeah. And this will take about 3 to 4 minutes.
So while she's working on that, you know, we have this really cool chat session that we are able to have during this class. And so we're going to be asking you some questions along the way, just when we have some little downtime like this. So the very first thing that we're going to ask you about is, what is your favorite kitchen utensil? And if you don't have time to go into the chat while we're doing this, you can answer us later on. Oh, somebody just said, Amber says, my stand mixer. So Celeste, while we're doing that, let's hear what your favorite kitchen is. Fork. Mike Gregory says fork.
So my favorite tool in the kitchen is my good old chef's knife. And I've had this chef knife since 2004, actually. And the way I ordered myself, the liberty in purchasing it, only because, you know, I've achieved something in life, and I wanted to show that, you know, it's a memorable event and show that, you know, this is one of it. And then actually when I went to Hawaii, one of the gentlemen that I worked with, his name was Greg, made me this blade guard made from Opus One box. So that's it right there.
And I'm going to tell you my favorite. And actually, Carolyn already said Carolyn actually used my favorite tool, which is the microplane. Microplane is my favorite thing in the world because I love citrus. Look, she's got hers too.
Love it.
Microplanes are fabulous. You can use your nutmeg, you can do garlic, you can do citrus, you can do just about anything on this.
Lemon,
Parmesan,
yeah,
everything. Microplane is my favorite. But I don't just have one because I'm extra.
of course.
So what do I have for my second one?
Please
Guess. Guess what my second tool is. I bet you can't guess.
if I was to guess, a wine key.
It's not a wine key. It's a grapefruit spoon.
Oh.
If you've never used a grapefruit spoon before, if you notice it has these cool little serrated edges on the end, I use this for so many different things. I use it for cleaning out bell peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, for cleaning about cucumbers, jalapenos. This is fantastic because it just has that little bit of serration. So exactly like cucumbers, you just go right down the center and pulls all your seeds out.
That's amazing.
So grapefruit spoon, not just for grapefruit people. All right, how's your kale doing?
It's actually done at this point. So you know when it's done, when you pick it up and it's already soft and done.
Oh, that looks good. Hey, quick
Okay.
question.
Absolutely.
Sharon Beaver is asking, she's substituting spinach because she doesn't like kale. So how long should she cook it?
The spinach, it'll take only 2 to 3 minutes. Hi, Sharon. How are you this evening? Yes. So the original
Recipe.
dish
Yeah.
that I had in Italy was made with spinach. But as a variation, it is your kitchen. You know, you make it your own. You can make it with Swiss chard, some chicory, some broccoli rabe, anything you like, anything you like. So this is done. What I'm gonna do is go over into the sink area and drain it. But please be careful when you're draining it, only because we're working with hot water
And wine.
and wine. And you just want to step back when you do drain it, so that way, you know, if there's anything that splashes on you, or it prevents from you getting hit with hot water. And you could also get a facial while you're there.
Steaming the face,
Steaming
opening the
facial.
pores.
Yes. So that is our blanched spinach.
And you're just gonna put cold water over it, right?
We are gonna shock it by running cold water. And what this does is actually stops the cooking process and retains its vibrant color.
Does it keep the vitamins in as well?
It does. So it's one of the ways that we can preserve the loss of any of the vitamins. Yes. So make sure that it is all in there.
Nice and cool.
Nice and cool. I'm gonna use my hands, everybody. All right. I think that's done. So what you want to do at this point is either just over your sink, just extract as much moisture out of that kale as possible, because we do want to keep it dry. Right? There it is. And this is a good opportunity to set ourselves up one step ahead. And what I mean by that is using the same stock pot for the blanching. We're actually going to fill it back up again with hot water for cooking off the Malfatti. So you always want to keep one step ahead. So that's done. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off and fill my pot again with water to cook off our dumplings later. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in our cutting board. At this stage, for those individuals who are using the food processor, we could go ahead and put that in there now.
So if you have the food processor, if you didn't hear, go ahead and put your kale in the food processor. But for those of you that didn't have a food processor or don't have one, she's just going to chop it up for you. I happen to know one of our friends that's with us tonight, Tracy Hoover. She loves to chop. I bet she's not using a processor. Am I right, Tracy Hoover? I know she loves to chop everything. I remember her telling me that one time.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. So I'm just filling our stock pot up again, same stock pot, and put this back into our burner. All right, safety first. Have your mitts on. Turn this on. Not that one.
She's trying to learn my kitchen. It's hard to
Right.
work in someone else's kitchen.
Right? That's okay. And then it is going to be salted. So go ahead and There you go. Gonna bring over our
So again, this is for people that aren't using the food processor on their kale, right?
yes.
So if they're using the food processor on the kale, how many pulses should they do on that?
I would go about 4 to 5 pulses, and what you want is a fine chop. So what we're gonna do is, by using your knife, you want to just tuck in your fingers and let the blade hit your knuckles. That way, you don't want it extended because we are working with wine tonight.
Come closer over here.
Go ahead and chop it up. For me, it's a lot easier when I do it by hand, only because, I'm so used to it and I just like working with my hands. So run it through a couple more passes, right?
And I'm a food processor kind of gal.
So for me tonight, it's one less equipment that I have to clean, right? So that's right. And what you're looking for is fine chop.
Fine chop.
Yeah? Everybody there? I hope so. So once that is done, go ahead and place it in our mixing bowl.
And for those of you that had it in the food processor, just take it out of the food processor and scrape it right into your nice little bowl right there.
Right? Again, please go ahead and get your other pot of boiling water ready for our next step. We just want to keep, ahead of our next step and have the water waiting for us instead of you waiting for it. Just cuts down on the cooking time, right? So that's done. So to this, what we're going to do is we're going to add our cup of ricotta.
Let me come over here.
Right?
Cup of ricotta.
Cup of ricotta.
Into your kale.
For our kale, we got 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Right? I have 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour in there.
That bowl came from Italy. I bought that bowl in Italy.
And our
spatula is from Italy too.
We have 1 egg whipped. Right? 1/2 cup of Parmesan Reggiano in there. The other half is going to be for garnish. We're going to add salt, a pinch of salt, and then a couple of cracks of black pepper. And I do have fresh nutmeg that I am going to grate over, but this recipe calls for 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. So if you guys have ground nutmeg, go ahead and add it. This one, I love the smell of fresh nutmeg.
Fresh nutmeg is one of my favorite smells in the world, next to cardamom.
Next to cardamom.
Next to cardamom.
It just wakes up your senses. It really does when you're doing it.
I put it in my quiche. I put it in pasta. It's beautiful.
It is. Even as an added at the end. That's done. And I will show you some tips of why we need excess all-purpose flour, or what to do if our mixture is loose or if our mixture is dry. So if it's loose, after coming all together, you just want to add, right?
Really stirring that baby up.
You just want to incorporate all of it. And if it doesn't come together with a spatula, we are going to use a regular spoon. Just incorporate it well. Okay.
Could you over stir it? Is that possible? Would it make it tough or anything?
It would not. It would not. Only because we are going to cook it again. It won't be tough or anything like that. Remember, the binder is the flour, so it just helps it along. Right?
Beautiful.
Look at that green color from blanching it. It just retains it, and that's what you want.
Pretty green, like spring.
Like spring. Spring is here, people.
Oh, so Cheryl Dahl Kearney is asking, all the flour now? No, right? Just, she was asking, do you put all the flour in right now?
The 3/4 cups of flour, yes. we
Okay.
do. Yes.
Just bit by bit, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
3/4 cups.
All right. So the way that you know that this comes together is you have to just form a ball in with your fingers.
Archie just asked, she said hers looks really green. Is that okay?
That's what we want.
Absolutely, because you know what? That's all the goodness, right?
Yes.
All that beautiful kale, yeah.
Yes.
Kale, yeah.
Kale, yeah. So what you want to do is you want to take it and with your fingers, and it forms a ball just like that. If it sticks to your hand, we need to add a little bit more of flour, you know, because my mixture is loose. Everybody is going to be different only because, you know, the amount of excess water that you extracted from it from blanching. All right, so mine is loose. I'm going to go ahead and just add maybe a 1/4 cup in there. And again, we are going to mix it and incorporate it. I really love this recipe. It's very versatile. The first time my husband tasted it, he's like, I'm not a fan of kale. Well, you will be after this.
So I have to say, I got to have a little taste of this the other day because of course you have to do a dry run, right? And she just did it with a little brown butter. Oh my God. I just had one. You had made it a little crispy on me. Oh my gosh, it was delicious. I can't wait to have this. I'm so excited.
Okay, so I think my mixture is
Yeah, so
there.
see, she's getting her flour in there.
Yep. Right?
Yeah.
And then again, you want to test it by making one. And if it comes together, it's what you want. Actually, I'm just going to add just another tablespoon of flour in there. Okay.
I hear the wind picking up outside.
Oh my gosh. Is it windy?
Spring is coming in.
All right, everybody. I think this is it.
That looks beautiful.
I think this is what it's going to come to.
How is everybody's looking? No one's chatting. Let's see.
That's a good thing, right?
That's a good thing. Everybody's busy.
Yeah, that's a
So
good thing.
I want you to start. Someone's saying looks great. Nicole says it looks great. So I want you guys to start thinking, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you all after this event or in the chat or later on to send me, maybe tomorrow, your favorite recipe. And I'm going to compile them all and send them to everybody in tonight's cooking class to give you some fun things to do, some fun things to cook this year.
Excellent. So that's our mixture. It's ready. What we're going to do is turn it over into our floured surface. I have our cutting board here. Okay. You just want to go ahead and spread that around. I also want to bring over our sheet pan, so that way when we start forming these, we have a place to put it. So flour the sheet pan as well, so it helps it from not sticking. I'm going to turn this over into our counter.
Pretty.
Right? And then I'm just going to work it with my hands. And then you just want to flour your hands as well because you just don't want it to stick, right? Form it into a ball. And what we're going to do at this point is using our bench scraper. Whoops. Sorry. We're going to cut it in half and then cut it into 6 equal.
Oh, there we go.
Right?
Beautiful.
That's what you
Everybody
want.
got that? 6 equal pieces.
6 equal pieces. If you don't have a bench scraper, we could certainly use our knife.
So while you guys are working on that, I also want you to start thinking about your favorite spice, what you love to cook with. So you can either throw that in the chat section if you know your favorite spice you like to cook with, and we will talk about that a little bit later, or you can tell us later as well.
And so at this point, what we're going to do is roll each.
Over here for 6.
Take one of the mixture.
Tequila. Someone just said their favorite ingredient is tequila.
Love it.
That's Jeff Hoover.
Love it. Whose house are we going to next? Right? What you want to do is just flour your hands to keep it from sticking. And
You're just rolling.
we're just rolling
She's
it.
rolling with the homie.
All right. If you don't have a bench scraper, you could certainly use a paring knife. Okay. And what you want to do is sometimes it does get sticky. You just want to go ahead and flour your.
Well, looky there. Cute little pillows of awesomeness.
Absolutely. And that's what
Look how
a
cute they are.
Malfatti is. And what you want to
Malfatti.
do is just roll it.
Oh, aren't they cute?
Put in. Transfer it over into
How big? He's asking. About how big do you say that is? 1.5 inches?
an inch of each. And then actually this mixture could yield you anywhere from 50 to 60 pieces
Okay.
of these little beautiful morsels.
Morsels of happiness.
Yes. And then I'm going to transfer these guys into
For sheet
our
pan.
floured sheet pan. And then we're going to go ahead and do this for the rest of our Malfatti.
Okay.
And then Christina.
So she's going to keep rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. And while she does that, I'm going to put this camera up for just a second. And I'm going to come over here on the other side of Chef Celeste. Hello, Celeste.
Hi.
And I'm going to tell you about Pinot Grigio because it's about time you learn about the wine. So what if you've ever attended one of my cooking, or not my cooking classes, if you've ever attended one of my wine education classes, one of the things I always talk about is food and wine pairing. And, you know, people get really nervous when they think of food and wine pairing. I always say a good rule of thumb to think is, you know, white wine with white meat and red with red. But then you get, you know, you have vegetarians, you have, it's so different world now. The world, that was 20 years ago. But now, you know, what I like to really start with, instead of doing that, I like to tell you to start with the region or the country that it's from. So let's think Italy. Now, Italy has many different regions, but tonight's recipe is the Kale Malfatti. And Malfatti comes from the Lombardy region of Italy. And the Lombardy region, you probably noticed, she mentioned earlier, for the fashion city of Milan, but it also is the home of Lake Como and my boyfriend, George Clooney. And so if you think of that, so actually, Lombardy and not Lombard, Illinois, Lombardy is right, it's the northern part of Italy, and it borders the southern parts of Switzerland, primarily Switzerland, and also Germany. And so when you're thinking of food and wine pairing, yes, we want to do Italian foods with Italian varietals. So first of all, I chose Pinot Grigio. Now, you think Pinot Grigio wasn't Pinot Grigio really Burgundy. Pinot Gris is known to be truly, its origins are from the Burgundy region of France. But Pinot Grigio, its Italian cousin, grows in the Lombardy region and other parts of Italy as well. So I thought Pinot Grigio would be a lot of fun to pair with this. Also, when you think about the foods there, so in that area of Lombardy, they grow lotus flowers, which is where you get saffron. And so I love saffron and I love risotto with saffron. So you think Pinot Grigio pairings, but this Pinot Grigio right here, we got these grapes from the Columbia Valley of Washington from Jones's Vineyards. We love, love, love Jones's Vineyards. And it's all stainless steel aged. It has no oak aging on it all. It's just clean and light. It's very mineral, very clean. And what they're very well known for in Lombardy as well are cheeses. And the cheeses, they're doing mozzarella. They're very well known for Grana Padano, Taleggio. Yes. But when I think of Pinot Grigio paired with Lombardy dishes, I think this would be really pretty with just the Malfatti portion of it. So we were just kind of drinking it during, but the next wine, which we'll talk about later, is what we're actually going to pair with it, because this would be beautiful with kale. It'd be beautiful with salads. You know, their dishes up there are a little bit more heavy and rich because it's more cold. It's colder there than it would be Mediterranean. And this Pinot Grigio, again, mineral, lemon lime peach, mozzarella, margarita pizza. This is the perfect wine for summer patio season. You could call it a patio pounder, if you will, a patio pounder.
I love
it. But I absolutely love this. And so now, while you're still working, are you guys still rolling out?
We're still rolling.
I'm going to bring over our two favorite spices.
Yes.
And let's talk about our favorite spices. So my favorite spice in the kitchen is, now, is it Barbera or Berber? Barbera? I think it's Barbera. So Barbera. I'm going to bring this over here. Barbera. Barbera seasoning is an African spice. And it's actually, it's an Ethiopian, it's Ethiopian 12 spice blend. And so it has paprika, sea salt, cayenne, fenugreek, coriander, cumin, black pepper, cardamom, my fave, cinnamon, cloves, ginger, and turmeric. I make for New Year's Eve, I'm from Texas. And so for New Year's Eve, I always do black-eyed peas with Barbera. This is also really fabulous on ribs, chicken. You can put your barbecue. It has some heat to it because it has that cayenne in there, but it's fabulous. And let's hear what your favorite is.
My favorite is za'atar.
Za'atar.
Again, also Ethiopian spice. And it has similar ingredients to your Barbera. It has cumin in there, some coriander, some thyme, marjoram,
chickpea flour,
sesame
salt, sesame seeds. Yes, I love za'atar.
And you know what? I cheat a lot with that spice when I want to make a different salad. I just put that on there, and then I have my husband guess, oh, did you taste something different? You know, it's a really, really fun spice.
So actually, it's funny that you say that because last week, guess what time it is?
Everybody toss.
Okay,
Drink
so
to you.
2 weeks ago, I went to go visit my parents in Texas, and my mom goes, "Hey, have you ever heard of za'atar seasoning?" I was like, "Well, yes, I have." Look, she sent me home with her own special blend of it. She made it herself. And we did a salad. I will share it with you. It's a steak salad for those of you, but you can always omit it and do just a salad. I'll send that recipe to everybody as well because it was delicious.
I think.
Okay, it looks like you've gotten a nice, so there's our wine. I'm going to go back to Celeste now and look at this beautiful tray.
So again, keep in mind that Malfatti means less than perfect. Mine does not look anywhere near uniform. So when you guys are doing it, you can even make this as a ball. You know, use a ice cream scooper, a small ice cream scooper, and just scoop it up. You don't have to make it into a log and cut it the way that I did. So you find your comfort level. You use the equipment that you like. You know, ice cream scooper, paring knife, anything that will achieve your Malfatti. So I'm gonna go ahead and just clean off my cutting board here. And as you can see, our water is ready.
Oh, so just so you see, so we have a few people that said, we're a little behind here. That's okay. We're all in our own time. You're totally good. So first of all, if it's too dry, what do you do if your Malfatti is too dry?
Yeah, so if your Malfatti is dry mixture, I would ask that you add in 1 egg yolk, just the yolk part of it. It brings it back into the consistency that we want, and it adds that extra moisture.
And somebody else is asking, can we freeze part before cooking?
Absolutely. So at this point, when you
Yeah,
are
sure.
done, you can freeze this at the stage, right? At this stage, do half now and then half next week, or whenever you would like to enjoy a Malfatti. And at this point, you can actually portion your servings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you could do this ahead of time. If you're having a birthday a celebration at your home, you can do this ahead of time, put it in the refrigerator, put it in the freezer. When you do thaw it, take it out of your freezer, at least from the night before, and then put it into your refrigerator, and then you're good to go.
Awesome. And somebody else asked where they said those spices look amazing. Where do we get them?
So my za'atar, I love to frequent Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. Za'atar from Trader Joe's.
Yes, yes. I do a lot of Trader Joe's shopping, and that's my favorite store.
And I am a big fan of the Spice House in Geneva. I order a lot of their stuff online. And the Barbera actually ordered it. Oh, somebody wrote Penzies. We love Penzies. Penzies is amazing as well. And Penzies has really nice stuff. And I also love when you're in a hurry, Amazon. Oh, sorry. What was the Trader Joe's things? Artie was just asking what the Trader Joe's. That's the za'atar. Somebody was asking where we get all these spices. So she got the za'atar spice. And that's just, we were asking what's everyone's favorite seasoning. And that's Chef Celeste's favorite right
That's
there.
mine.
Oh, see someone else at Spice House in Geneva. Absolutely.
Oh,
So I know some of you are running a little bit low or a little bit behind, and that's totally cool. Totally cool. Take your time. Don't rush. We're all here having a good time. In fact, this might be a good time then while you're waiting. Is everybody still, I'm kind of watching everybody. It looks like maybe a few people are still kind of going. So trust, Chef Celeste is a professional, so she goes a little bit faster than all of us.
I'm on your schedule, and you are in your own kitchen. So whatever you do in your kitchen, you're on your own schedule.
Absolutely. So, you know, here's one of my favorites. So you talked a little bit about being in Italy and some of your favorite recipes, or some of your favorite things. What were some of your favorite things you tasted while you were in Italy, while everybody's still rolling?
Oh my God. What is it? We had bucatini. Everything tastes so rich there. Their butters, their cheeses, their salamis, everything is very different. We flew into Rome. We went up to Assisi, and we stayed a week in Assisi. And from Assisi, we went to Florence. We went to the coast. We went to where Puglia is. I mean, we just ate our way through Italy. I wish I could have stayed longer, boss, if I had more vacation. But
And he's watching too. So hey, while you're doing that, I have to show.
Go ahead.
I have to show one of my favorite things from Italy. For those of you, and I know we have some friends with us online tonight. If you guys haven't watched our Lynn friends, the Hoovers, they have happy hour with the Hoovers. It's a lot of fun, and they make a lot of cocktails. But my favorite cocktail, when a lot of you that are with us tonight actually went with us to the Mediterranean. I know Sharon Beaver went with us. My parents are watching because they're playing along tonight from Texas, and they went with us as well. But my favorite summer splash is Aperol. And my favorite drink that I drank all throughout Italy was an Aperol Spritz. And an Aperol Spritz, all it is Aperol, and it kind of has like a little bit of a medicinal cherry. Oh, see, oh my God, I love it. I just lap it up. But it kind of has this cool little cherry flavor to it. and almost a little bit of rhubarb, but you mix it with Prosecco and seltzer on ice and put a straw in it and an orange slice and just call me done. It's the best little like 4 o'clock in the afternoon drink. Just when you think you need a nap, it kind of perks you back up. So now that I think everyone's kind of getting, I think everybody should kind of be getting done with rolling. So Celeste, I'm going to let you take over again.
Thank you so much. So what we're going to do at this stage, we have all of our malfattis done. I'm not going to cook all of it. So if you guys are not done with all of your 6 logs, let's just start off with what you have. Okay. Our water is boiling.
Oh, I have a quick question.
Please.
Someone wants to know, do they have to make the dough into dumplings before freezing, or can they just freeze the dough?
It's best if you do it now.
With the dumplings.
If you form it now, because later on, when you do take it out of the freezer and thaw it, there's going to be excess moisture.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's best if you shape it now. You know, you can form it into a ball, or you can form it into a log. So thank you for your question.
I'm going to come over closer to you so we can watch you doing this.
Absolutely. So our pot is boiling. We're going to go ahead and dump it in there. I'm going to do about maybe 20 pieces or so. And the way that you know it's done is that it will flow back up to the surface. And
salted water again, yes.
Salted
water, yes.
Thank you so much.
Look at those babies. Go swimming, go swim.
Everybody in the pool.
Now, how many are you? Oh, champagne time, Pinot Grigio time. So what are you putting in? Maybe a third of those at a time?
Yes.
So she put about a third of her batch in right now.
You don't want to overcrowd your boiling water, because it just takes a lot longer. Yeah, and you just want to gently stir these bad boys.
And so on average, how many or how long do you think it's going to take?
3 to 4 minutes.
3 to 4 minutes, you said.
Yeah, because it is, if you will, it is fresh pasta.
Yes.
So at this stage, you know how I said, let's go ahead and keep one step ahead. What I'm going to do, and it's not on your recipe card, is start off by heating our San Marzazo tomatoes. And what this does is that when you're actually ready for it later to incorporate in with our browned malfattis, it doesn't take any more time to cook it because you've already heated it through, right? So with your saucepan, go ahead and place it in there. And for me, the sauce is complementary to the dish. The malfatti is the star. And San Marzazo tomatoes doesn't need any doctoring at all, because it's sweet tomatoes. It is it's very ripe. Let's see if I can figure this out, Christina.
Top one.
So you just want to gently simmer that. I'm going to go ahead and add our garlic in it. Okay, I know I'm deviating from our recipe card, but again, it's your kitchen. You do as you see fit. All right, we're just going to warm that through. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper in there, right? And we're going to stir this up. So, Christina, I think we're about ready to talk about
Barbera.
Barbera.
Are we ready to talk about Barbera?
Beautiful. Yeah.
I'm going to come around over here by you. So I'm going to come on this side.
Okay.
So, oh, look at all your little malfatti are coming up to the top. They look super cute.
And that means that they're done. If you could see it, and what you want to do is kind of just poke it through, and it's a little firm. All right. So do you see how it's floating up? There you go. You just want to poke it through, and it's done. I'm going to go ahead and transfer this onto a sheet pan because we're ready. How's everybody's malfatti doing?
Oh, it looks good. Someone just asked,
Yes.
do we need garlic for anything else?
We do
Ju-
not.
No,
It's just
the
gonna be
garlic
for
is just for the sauce. So
for the
you're
sauce.
putting the garlic in the tomato sauce. That's what somebody else was asking too. Yeah. So look, she's just taking that Malfatti out, putting it right on that pan. Boy, those look beautiful. And you're right, they're cute because they're not perfect. They're just like
They're less than perfect.
water wasn't boiled. Arg. It's okay. Take your time. You know what? Remember, chef does. She's a professional, so she just take your time. Take your time.
We'll wait on.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Yeah, we'll
In
wait.
fact, while you guys are all working on cooking your Malfatti, I'm gonna now pop back in here. So I'm gonna come away from chat for a minute. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Barbera. So again, this is another red that grows in Italy, and Barbera is originally from Piedmont region. However, there are some people that say, oh, no, 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 it's from Lombardy. So we decided to go with Barbera tonight. I think Barbera was our red wine of the month a few months ago. Barbera is probably one of my favorite reds. I absolutely love it. It is the only red that is referred to in feminine form. Usually white wines are referred to as white wines are referred to in feminine words, like they'll call them pretty and svelte and lovely, whereas except for Marsanne. Marsanne's your one white that is considered masculine. But red wines are considered, they don't consider them red or consider them masculine, but they use masculine terms. So it's going to be like sexy and big and bold. But Barbera, just think Barbara, that's a good way to remember it. Barbera is your one feminine grape. And so what I love about Barbera, so remember I was talking about Lombardy is really close to Germany and Austria. And so you're going to have a lot of really rich Mutau, really rich, heavy dishes. And they also, Lombardy is a very wealthy area. And so they are known for having very old aged cheeses, really good pieces of meat. That's where you get, again, Telaggio, which is one of my favorites. Telaggio is like a stinky,
I love
stinky cheese. I actually have a recipe for a Telaggio and mushroom lasagna. It's ridiculous. But so you have those really big, heavy flavors, and Barbera is just so nice, and it's still a nice, beautiful red, but it just has a little more femininity to it. And instead of being big and big next to each other, you get big and beautiful. And I like big and beautiful. That's me. But I love this. So the Barbera, this one, we got the grapes for this from Herringer Estates, which is Sacramento River Delta of California. And we love Herringer. They're a 6th-generation Dutch family farm. We aged this for, was it 36 or 24 months? I have to think. 24 months. 24 months in American oak. It's 85% Barbera, 15% Merlot, just a little bit to kind of soften it out. This would be awesome with mascarpone. Again, those cheeses, tomatoes, risotto. Again, this, and that's why we are pairing this when we sit down tonight. This is the wine we're going to have with our dish. And I think you will see it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful pairing. So Barbera, I'm going to pass this back to Celeste. Come back and check the chat.
So actually, Christina, that's funny that you should say Barbera is feminine. John, my husband, one of his colleagues was retiring, and I said, "Oh, there's a wine called Barbara. We'll just give it to her, Barbera.
Barbera.
Barbera. We'll just give it to her and say that we misspelled her name." So that's what
There you
we
go.
gave Barbara for her retirement, is a couple bottles of Barbera. So I already cooked up the second batch of our Malfatti. Again, once they're floating, you know that they are done. And you just want to press on it just to make sure that they're semi-firm. Yeah, just like that. Just like that. And I'm going to take this off because we are all done.
Look at that. You already did all the batches already.
I did.
Wow. How's everybody else doing on their batches? We're still working. I see people at their counters here. Let me close this chat so I can see what everybody's doing. Let's see, Chef Celeste. How's everybody doing in there? I see it. Oh, I get it. Ackermans are giving us a thumbs up. That's fantastic. Awesome. Oh, Carolyn, I got a thumbs up from Carolyn. I'm just scrolling through. I have a lot of you in here. Oh my gosh, this is so fun to see. Oh, I'm sorry, Celeste. I moved away from you.
It's okay.
I was watching chat and my camera was moving.
And it's okay.
Second batch just went in the water for Amber. Okay, good. That's all right.
Amber,
Take your time while you're doing that.
And
go ahead.
And again, you don't have to cook all of it now. We can freeze this, or we could set it aside for even tomorrow. You know, I love leftovers. I love leftover pasta. I really do. It's my favorite. And I eat spaghetti cold. Believe it or not.
I love cold spaghetti.
So I'm going to go ahead and drain the water off because we're not going to need it anymore. I will need the counter space, so I'm just cleaning as I go. All right. So again, just step back because it is hot. There we go. I love the deep sinks because you don't see any mess. All right, so at this point, we're done with that. Go ahead and bring out your ginormous saute pan.
So pretty much, can we tell people that if you have your second batch in, some of you have 2 people with you, yes? You guys ready to get your saute pans out? Let me check chat and see how everybody's doing. Yummy, second batch in, okay.
Excellent.
I think we're getting close.
Okay.
All right, done. Okay, I see people saying done.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
So again, you just want to help your sauce along, just stir it, taste for seasoning if you'd like. And then what I'm going to do, turn that guy off, and I'm going to turn this one.
That saute pan is bigger than you. Oh, nice. Carolyn is sauteing garlic and some red onion.
Beautiful.
Fun.
It's your recipe. It's your version of what we're starting off as mine. So Carolyn, thank you so much for making it your own. And, you know, it's just one of those things that when you're adopting a recipe, again, we're in your kitchen. You do as you see fit to your liking, to your taste, to your party, to your crowd. So yeah, excellent, excellent. So we just want to keep that through and get that all set up, and then add olive oil. How much olive oil? 2 tablespoons. That looks like about 2 tablespoons or so. And what we're trying to accomplish here is when we're cooking off the Malfatti, we want to have a brown crust around it. And when you bite into it, you're going to taste that crunch. It gives that added texture to your dish.
And I got to try one crunchy and they are delicious.
It's amazing. And not because I made it. It's just one of those texture profile. If you have something pillowy in the middle, and then you have that crust at the very beginning, it's awesome. So is everybody on the part of sauteing?
It looks like I've got most people going with their saute. Let's see here.
Excellent. And I'm just trying to see if the pan is ready for us. And we're just
Getting that nice and hot.
getting it nice and hot. And if you want to test it, it's actually ready.
Hear that sizzle? Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle.
Yeah. So if you don't have a big of a pot like or a saute pan as I do, just do it in batches, right? I'm just gonna do half just for our class, right? Extra virgin olive oil.
And the thing is too, while she's putting these out, you don't have to sit down and eat with us at the same time. You can keep cooking, keep doing your thing. We're just kind of doing it so that you can enjoy it when you are done. So take your time.
Yeah, and ask us questions. Please feel free to ask us any questions that you may have throughout your cooking. So, we're going to do that now. Don't disturb it, which I did. Don't disturb it.
Do not disturb.
DND. You know, Yeah, so at this point, I mean, you guys saw how easily it came together. Not even half an hour. As long as we have all of our mise en place, all of our ingredients all measured out, this is gonna be your go-to meal, because it didn't take long to put it together.
Don't you think eventually when we get together with our friends, this would be a fun recipe to get your friends making with you?
Like tonight.
Like tonight.
Yes, so much. Like today. Like this evening. I'm so sorry.
And you know what? The first time. Oh, we lost. Switching over. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm back to our iPhone. Can you guys hear us again? There we go. So you know what happened? We have this speaker that we brought in to make it a little louder for everybody. And unfortunately, it looks like we got disconnected. So how long are you frying these?
It takes about 4 to 5 minutes to get that color.
Okay,
And
about
you-
45 minutes to get that beautiful color there.
Because you want a little crust and get that texture in there.
Beautiful. Sorry, we lost audio, everybody, but we're back.
But we are back.
We are back.
So this actually looks great, Christina. I
It
think
does
we're-
look great.
We're good to go.
Are you ready to plate?
I am.
Okay, let's get
Yeah.
those plates and get going. So we are getting ready to plate our dish, everybody. Everybody can still hear us? Let me check my chat. Okay, good. Okay,
All right.
sorry, I'm getting a little,
No, you're good.
there we
You're
go.
good. So I'm gonna bring over our plate. Right.
I love that sound of that sizzle.
And what I'm gonna do now is incorporate some of our sauce in here, just so
Okay.
they could marry together.
Oh, hang on, I'm gonna mute this while we turn that off. Okay, we're back with sound because it's not a cooking class unless the fire alarm goes off.
That was amazing. Oh my God, that was amazing.
Oh, that's funny.
So you can tell that we're cooking live, right?
I do have very sensitive fire alarms.
You can tell
Firefighters should be very happy about my house.
that, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
we all feel better.
Just incorporate a
Woo.
cup of sauce in here.
Beautiful. Again, I think that pan is bigger than you. Oh, that's funny. They're all thanking us for the fire alarm going off because it makes them feel better.
Right? It's amazing. We're cooking live, everyone. Who knows? The fire department might even show up.
Hey, firefighters.
So this is done. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and plate it for Christina and I.
Oh my gosh. Smell-o-vision. You guys are doing your house, so you know this smells so good. You get that garlic and the pasta and that sauce. It smells so good. Beautiful.
And everybody, this is what Kale Malfatti is. Oh my goodness. I'm super excited to share this recipe with you.
I'm so excited to share it with everybody. This is fun.
So that's that.
Beautiful. Look at that.
I'm going to garnish with a little bit of
Parmesan.
Parmesan Reggiano. And what I like to do is actually crack a couple more teaspoons of ground pepper. So let me make sure that our stove is off before we head to the dining room. Right? Off, 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 off. Thank you. And then we're good to go. Let's
Beautiful. So we're going to go in and have some dinner. You guys can follow us. We're going to chat for a minute. If you'd like, there we go. Come on in, Celeste. I'm going to follow Celeste. Coming into the dining room. There we go. Oh, that light's a little bright. Maybe I can turn that down so it's not so in your face. Maybe not. Here, we'll turn this down a little bit. There we go. There we go. And so I'm going to bring over my, thank you, Celeste. I'm so excited. I'm excited to have dinner with you.
Me too. Thank you.
And so again, this Barbera with this beautiful dish. Look at that. It's so pretty. What I love about it, it's simple, beautiful Italian food. It's simple. It's lovely. And you know what? Why don't you guys, if you have questions, I have the chat open here. But you know what? If you have questions, why don't you guys unmute yourselves? Here, I'm going to pour Chef Celeste a little wine.
Thank you.
Unmute
Christina.
yourselves and feel free to ask us questions. If we can't hear you, I might ask you to put it in the chat. How are we doing? Is everybody? Oh, I need to turn my sound up. I think I'm going to come over here so I can hear you guys. All right, go ahead and sit down, Celeste.
Thank you.
All right, I have you guys turned off. Cheers, 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 everybody. You know what? A happy cheers to you. Here we go. This beautiful Barbera. I'm so excited about this. Cheers to Chef Celeste.
Here's to you and opening your home for me and for everybody who's joining us. So
I'm
thank you.
so excited. This has been so much fun. And I loved it because we had wine before too. Before, not tonight. I mean, we had wine last week doing a test run of this.
Yes.
And it's just been a lot of fun. And if you guys want, feel free to ask us questions. If you want, you can unmute yourselves and we'll see if we can hear you. If not, does anyone have any questions so far? Oh, I see some people kind of eating theirs. What do we have?
Oh, wow. Cheers.
You got yours?
Thank you so much.
Oh, everybody's on mute. Can you unmute yourselves
There,
anymore?
I'm not, are you, can you hear Tracy and Jeff?
Oh,
Hi,
Tracy. Oh, let me
Tracy.
turn you
How
up,
are you?
Tracy.
Okay, hello.
There we are. Can I hear you?
Yes, no?
Join audio. Hang on. Give me just a second.
We can
Oh, no, I can't do it on this one. Hang on.
Is someone's
You know what? It's my phone, unfortunately, because I have my personal iPad plus my iPhone going. So you know what? If you can ask in chat instead, I'm so sorry. We're learning.
No problem.
I see Tracy
I'm gonna-
asking. She's like using
I'm
her
gonna mute.
hands.
Hold on.
What's that?
Can you hear me now or no?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna freeze half of ours. And you guys talked about some alternative sauces because you said something about brown butter. So I'm just interested in what other sauce options you would recommend if we freeze some.
That's a great question. So Tracy was just asking as far as different sauce options we could do. So what did you do for me the other day? That was awesome.
So that was just a brown butter sauce. You could do a little bit of basil just to fry it up. I'm sorry, Tracy. I'm looking at you in the iPad. I should be looking at you
Up there.
okay.
Oh yeah.
So I did a brown butter sage sauce the other day for Christina and everyone to try. But you could certainly just make it with a little bit of Parmigiano and zest a lemon in it.
Oh.
Really, that would make it. I only chose tomato because it's something that we conveniently have, but you know, there's many variations that you can do.
I love the
Absolutely.
lemon and Parmesan. I may try
Lemon.
that.
I think that's the way. Lemon and Parmesan would be fantastic.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cheers. Oh, I have to look up here. I'm looking at my iPad, but we're also doing the phone.
And I just want to say,
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Thank you.
you guys did a
Anybody else
great
have any
job.
questions?
Great job.
Oh, do I hear anyone? I can also look in chat too. Oh, do we drain some of the olive oil before adding tomato sauce? No.
No, I didn't. It's not an excess of extra virgin olive oil that we had to start off in the pan, and it doesn't make it oily either. But yeah, no, you don't have to drain it.
Good.
If you see, it kind of just makes this beautiful sauce in it too.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So how is everybody enjoying their Kale Malfatti?
I see
Oh.
lots of this. That's good.
Right?
This is good.
So
Those
did we
are the
turn you
points.
on to incorporating kale into your everyday or into your routine? Because not a lot of people are familiar with kale and they shy away from that. And I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm bringing you something that you would again cook.
Well, I see someone saying this is amazing. I agree. This is beautiful.
Good.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I
Oh.
really appreciate it.
You know what?
Thank you.
It's so much fun. We do a lot, you know, like I said, this year has just, I mean, everybody's saying this year has just been crazy, but it's really made us think outside the box and do different things. And this has probably been my favorite class that we've done all year. Just because she and I got to spend so much time together. I had so much fun working on getting this together today.
Yeah, me too. Christina and I just brushed through our daily, you know, when I am in the winery and spending time with her in her home, beautiful home. I mean, seriously,
Thank you.
it's awesome.
Thank you
It's
very
awesome.
much. Thank
Yes,
you.
no, thank you.
And thank you guys. You have all been so fabulous. And I know everybody's from everywhere. We have people from California with us tonight, from Texas, all over Illinois. Where else do we have? Anywhere else that you know of?
California mostly because I did invite my best
So we're
friend,
best friends. Yeah.
Lara and Adrian. She's in, I hope you're here.
She is. I think I saw her come in.
All right, so yes.
Cheers. So everybody enjoy on your own. I'm going to sit here and eat this whole plate. So cheers and is it Wednesday? Happy Wine Wednesday to you,
Happy Wine Wednesday.
my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you both.